Welcome back, everyone, to the Roman Show. And on the line, it's a true honor. There's a great event here in South Florida, in Miami, June 9th to the 11th at the Hangar at Regatta Harbour. Sumo and plus sushi. Yes, you heard right. Sumo plus sushi in Miami, Florida. We're not talking about the Miami Heat. We're not talking about the Florida Panthers. We're talking about sumo. It's a sports right now is huge. We got Messi, but now we got sumo in South Florida. And how great it is that we have the legendary sumo star himself, Mr. Konishiki Yasokichi, and Sam, the
Yes.
co-founder and president of SC Productions, who is putting this great event. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us here on the Roman Show, and I'm hope you are staying hydrated and enjoying our humidity.
Very much, very much. We're glad we could be here.
Well, Sam, Koni-chan, as I said, it's a great honor to have you here. So, how did this start? You got sumo in the United States. You know, unfortunately for us here in the States, we're not too educated on it, the whole basis, the whole tradition of it. And obviously there is something so, it's a wonderful, beautiful sport, and the hard work that they put. I myself have had the opportunity of attending one of the major tournaments in Nagoya during the summertime. So, Koni-chan, I'll start off with you. Bringing sumo to Miami. You know, when you think of Miami, you think the beaches, you think football here, you think now the Miami Heat, but sumo. Sam, how did you guys put this together to bring it here to town?
Me? You want me to
Yeah,
answer
go ahead.
them?
Yeah, huh?
Well, I think something was missing in Miami. You had one of the biggest hockey games going on.
Yeah.
Then you have all the heat going on, and then you have the Dolphins here, and you have the Marlins here, and you guys didn't really have that last piece, which was sumo and sushi. I hate to say, but now you're a full package. You got Messi coming to Florida. What the hell is going on here in Florida, man?
We just got the news. We got Lionel Messi joining us here as well, and we got Koni-chan.
I know. I read about it. I read about it. That's why, like, you have all this great world class entertainment coming, and sumo. Well, sumo. This is not the first time in the U.S., but first to Florida. We've been up to New York. We started up in New York and stuff and we did San Jose one year, did my career, and we did San Jose and Hawaii and New York when I was actually active sumo tori. But this Sumo and Sushi we started in 2019. I started with them in 2019. I got involved with this great event in 2019, and then we got hit with the pandemic. We had to set out for a while. Then we came back on the last year in the West Coast. We did shows in LA, San Francisco, and Seattle. So this is the first time we brought it to Miami. Actually, we're going to DC next week, and when New York, in 2019 we went to New York. So I'm glad that we can bring it to Florida, which is perfect. We hate to wear clothes. Most of the time we're naked, so we like to be naked, which especially when it's warm out here.
So when I look at the schedule here, it says you have two shows per day. Now, are all the sumo wrestlers going to be performing in both of those events? Talk to me through this and the rules, because let's face it, not many people here know the rules, the whole timing, all of that stuff about sumo wrestling.
Well, that's the whole purpose of coming, so you guys can buy tickets and come and learn from it. That's
And
the whole
I can
idea.
go ahead, Sam.
It's hard
I
to
can tag
explain
into
over the
that
phone, but
Yeah.
as well. Yeah, I think that, what Konishiki does, and he talks a lot about this concept called edutainment, right?
Mhm.
And really, truly, that's what's happening at Sumo and Sushi. This is not intended to be a replica of a traditional Japanese sumo tournament, but much rather an opportunity for our guests to really learn about the history and culture of sumo, and to get to witness, of course, live matches, but also see Konishiki sort of share his story from his really, really incredible career in sumo, and then have our incredible six sumotori that are demonstrating winning moves, demonstrating forbidden moves, demonstrating training techniques, answering questions from the crowd. So it's really a full experience where even if folks haven't learned about sumo and don't know a single thing, they can still enjoy themselves and they'll walk away saying how much they've learned and educated themselves, which is great. And those that are true sumo fans, to have the opportunity to be alongside someone like Konishiki is such an honor. And so we see that excitement both from guests that have never seen sumo and from folks that have been watching Konishiki their whole lives.
Yeah, and
The good thing about the whole thing, Sam, putting this together and we bringing, well, you have 100 years of sumo experience. We're not guys who love sumo and sumo is a hobby. We are originally all professional sumo, ex-sumo wrestlers that have started our careers after sumo, and this is such a great opportunity for us to get out. And yes, it's entertainment. So I can guarantee you, by the time you walk out of that venue, that you'll be more educated about sumo. You're going to even like sumo more because of the stories I tell and the things that happen within the sumo life. And people don't even know half of what sumo is all about. Everybody thinks it's just two big guys in there, which is sumo itself is the only contact sport in the world that doesn't have a weight class, And stuff like that I talk about. And then talk about the different techniques that we have. It's the mixture of all the budo, karate and aikido and wrestling and all the different moves. Before there was MMA, there was sumo. That's thousands of years behind. Sumo was like originally the samurais of Japan, and that's why we most of our grand champions are not even big. They're all smaller.
And
Because
Miami is a fighting town. This at one point was the training grounds of the great Muhammad Ali, and so many fighters have trained here. Heck, even in MMA, we have so many great camps to train here. So
not only that, the WWE, all your big
yes,
stars in WWE right now, Rain and The Rock,
Samoans.
they
Yep,
all study here. There's schools in Orlando because I visited them when I was in my career.
yes,
The Yokozuna, the
yep,
Kishi, all these guys, their camps are here in Florida,
yep. The Jacob
and they're like
Patus. Yeah,
they
all
are
those
good
guys.
friends of mine. Yeah.
Absolutely. So it's definitely a great thing. Now it's June 9th to the 11th. The event is for 21 and over. Uh, now,
Sorry, kids.
yeah, but will there be a chance in the future where you can bring some kids to the event?
Well, we can do something separately where we do a demonstration, just for the kids to educate them about the sumo culture. I don't really call it a sport; I call it more like a culture. So there's things actually. The only thing we do is we sell liquor. So it's
Right,
not good. All my events that I do for kids in Japan too, I don't allow any liquor.
right, right.
But if you don't sell liquor, you don't make money. So shit, you gotta. It's a business stuff. So sometime like I think we're accepting this kid who wants to do an interview with me from one of the schools right down the road from the venue itself. So I can take time for do some of those things, but the event is an entertainment is to get people get the stress out of their minds and learn something. The pride that we carry as ex sumo wrestlers and sumo wrestlers, why they so dedicated to sumo. And that's the kind of thing I guess is missing in all our lives because we're so busy.
Yeah.
If you can just step away and realize what is important in your life and what you want to represent as a man or a lady or whatever you call it, you can learn that from what we do because we take every day
Right.
we take everyday pride with pride when we walk out there and it's more than the ring itself, and that's something that I talk about a lot.
So Coney, tell me some of the participants here. Who are we going to see? Are we going to see any Yokozunas? Are we going to see guys that are starting up? Any young blood? And that's
You guys wouldn't afford the Yokozuna to come, and they're not allowed to go out abroad anyway. That's the culture.
uh-huh.
And it's not like pro wrestling where you just can grab anybody.
Okay.
It's sumo itself, actually. It's so the dignity and the protect, how they protect them in Japan is a huge thing. It's not like your everyday Western NBA players where, they get millions and, all that stuff and all your branding and all that. We don't do that in sumo. We have nothing to do with being popular, have nothing to do with money. Just to being sumo, it's one of the hardest things to do because you can get there, but you cannot stay there because you have to fight every single time. Pain or no pain, you have to fight to keep your position. Which out of 800, well, my time we had about 1,000 people, only 60 can make it in sumo.
Wow.
Less than 1% of sumo wrestlers make it within sumo. And people don't understand, it's not where you go pick up your bag, go to the gym, and come back. You live that life 24/7, 365 days. You know what I mean? Everybody just looks at the big guys hitting, but they don't understand the life they have to live to even be part of this organization is even harder. The ring is the easiest thing we do, to be honest with you. It's the life that we carry outside of the ring. It's something that if we don't protect, they don't care if you're Michael Jordan, LeBron, or Tiger Woods, or whoever, Messi. You screw up one time, just in public, you're out. They don't care who you are.
Wow.
Here, they protect everybody. You can actually go rape your girl and you can kill a dog and whatever. You get to play again. Not in Japan, brother. Not in sumo.
Wow, that's very interesting.
And it's been proven they kicked out some of the grand champions within the past 10 years. They kicked out 2 grand champions, in fact.
Wow.
So it's, people don't, and that's the thing I try to bring to my crowd, to my fans, people that come to the show. I want them to understand the fighting of the fighting is not what we fight every day. It's what we carry off the ring, because sumo is going to be bigger than us than ever, because they don't look at sumo as a sport where they got to take advantage of this popularity and make money, because it's not a money making thing. But you are treated more better than anybody that makes all the money in Japan in sports or whatever. We're the first one that Emperor comes to see every year. Every year. He has a special day where he comes and watches one of the days of the tournament opening in January. So when you have the Emperor there just for sumo, it has a special seat for just in sumo. Then that should tell you a lot about the history of sumo.
Wow. And Kun-san, is there anyone in particular though that we should keep an eye on? That's you said everybody's pretty much equal, but anyone that stands out for you, there's this guy's awesome to watch.
Out of the 6 that are coming into town?
Yeah.
Well, the boys are already here. These guys, we've been away from sumo over 10 years. And I don't think, even if I said a name, you wouldn't know, but you guys will recognize them in some of the movies. One of the biggest Netflix right now, I have 4 of the boys that in the number 1 Sanctuary, the Sanctuary. We have one of the top actors in there is one of the boys too. They're all real sumo wrestlers. The main guy was doing the sumo thing. He's not a background. His background in that sumo is judo.
Wow.
So after our careers is something that I take pride in. All these kids, even after that, they all tried their best to get to the top, but only some of them made it. But but still, the life they live. If you can last 5 years in sumo, you've made it. I always tell the kids that you can fight for 5 years, you've made it. So we average about over 10 years each in this group. So we have experienced sumo more than people can get ever in the U.S. or anywhere.
Right.
And I think one of the nice things that Koni does, when he puts together this lineup of these 6 sumotori is it's not all big guys. It's sumotori that come from a variety of different stables. Apologies for the background noise, but it's sumotoris that come from a variety of different stables that all have a variety of different techniques that they use in the ring. And so to showcase that, it's incredible.
Well,
Sam, you learned something, yeah?
I listen to Konishiki at least once per year.
And that's interesting to point, because like you said, it's not just 2 big guys just going at it, just ramming each other. They have different disciplines that they bring into the table that brings a different type of aspect or instrument to the sport of sumo. And again, the website is sumoandsushi.com for information on how to obtain tickets, and they're available right now. Of course, they'll be here in Miami, and then they'll be heading out to other parts of the country. So, gentlemen, I don't want to take too much time of here, but if I'm for the first time, I just found this out. I thought, hey, I was on the online here, and this looks pretty cool. Why should I go?
Well, number one, like what we just explained, why you find me a sport, where that contact sport that do 90 professional fights a year, full contact. Find me a sport that do that. And number 2, find me a sport where you have guys at like almost over 400 pounds who can do the squats, lift their leg in the air and don't even budge, and they can actually get down to the ground to a full splits. Find me somebody that way who can really do that and do it every day. I've hosted NFL players, UFC fighters, surfers, basketball players. The last host I hosted was Stephen Curry just last year. And they're amazed because the exercises we do, a lot of them cannot do because their bodies are tight. But sumo, the core under all that layers of fat is all muscle. That's the way people got to realize you're not just looking at a big boy. You try to humor, you break your neck. And there's technique we go, give me a second, I can break your arm easily. You know?
Right.
So there's a lot of things that people don't see, and my job is to come and entertain that, but educate them about everything about it. You're gonna love sumo even more if you didn't see it, if you came to the show, because number one, you're gonna understand why they do certain exercises. Number two, why all these throws looks like it's just getting thrown. There's reason for that. And I'm gonna do it fast, and I'm going to do a show so people can see it and see exactly what's happening with timing, hand movement, leg movement, why that just happened. You know what I mean? Like a hole can actually break your elbow without you knowing, and then I will explain to them why that happens, and I'll let my sumo tori do actually go through the motions and show it.
Wow, well, Koni-chan, thanks, Sam. And again, I don't want to take. I know you guys got to get busy, and you guys are Koni-chan. You're adapting to our time difference here, but I want to thank you so much for
fighting it, man.
I know how it is. It's horrible, but you'll fight through it. Don't worry. We thank you
We're
so much
sumo tori, brother. We go right through
it. we thank you, Sam Koni-chan, for coming here to Miami. Bienvenidos, and hope you guys have a great show down here, and we hope to have you again here sometime later this year or next year. It's a pleasure to have you guys, and welcome. We're a championship.
Gracias, amigo.
De nada. All right, thanks so much, gentlemen. Again,
arigato.
Arigato gozaimasu. Sumoandsushi.com is the website. Get your tickets right now, 9, 10, and 11 in the Coconut Grove area.